you'll only sing with me. Come on and join me with boopy doopy doopy doop, boop boopy doop. Thank you. Oh, dear, what a busy day this has been. Let's see, where do I go from here? Oh, that's it. Well, this is terrific. Oh, me, oh, my.
And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. And that's coming out of my speaker. And that's coming out of my speaker. Everything was set except I forgot to switch the headphones over. Everything was set except I forgot to switch the headphones. Okay, headphones have been switched over, so one fish, two fish have been switched over, so one fish, two fish have been switched over. Red fish, blue fish, and I'm getting echo like crazy. Okay, Twitch is good. Blue fish, and I'm getting echo like crazy. Okay, so Twitch off. Let's check the YouTube. Bum, 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 bum. There we are. Bum, 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 bum. All right, YouTube is good. I was working on these wings yesterday using a Blender tutorial for making these geognomes. Yo, Leo, nice to see you, man. So this is going to be part of the angel outfit. I'm relatively happy with how those are looking. I think those will do the trick. They're going to match with the rest of the outfit. So today we're going to try to finish up the wings, which I know it's kind of cheating doing them offline, but I can't do everything online. Um, so where's the outfit? Geonodes. Yeah, it is Geonodes. No, I didn't do it. I didn't stream it. I did not stream it. It is this tutorial though. I will point you to the tutorial. Um, Creating crazy realistic wings in Blender 4.3. I'm going to copy and paste that right there. So it's basically I kind of followed along with this to a certain degree. It's going to go with this outfit. So this is coming along nicely. I thought I updated the shape of this. I could have sworn. Are you saying you're stellar? You're still saying you're angel dress. Yeah, you're still lighting. So I didn't save you right. Dingity ding it. I'm gonna resave this. I gotta make a couple of changes. Yo, Charles, how are you doing? Anyhow, I noticed that there's a PA at Daz called Stardust Angel. I was going to call this Starlight Angel, but I'm thinking the similarity in between that and a PA name is a little too close. So I'm going to call this Stellar Angel. You subscribe to that guy too? Oh, cool. So I did update the base geometry. I had saved this, and I don't know why it's not fixed. Here, we're going to do that. We're going to fix it now, though. I think the panties are good though. Panties came back right. Just didn't come back right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow away the current data folder. I'm going to make sure this is loading right. I updated this geometry with a little bit better. See, it's a little when it converted from Genesis 9, it shrunk wrapped on a little too much. So I'm going to tweak that. So I did save a better version of the shape for Genesis 8 from Arliss Designer. So I'm going to update the geometry on that. Update the vertex position, click on that. We are looking for totally not that one. I'm totally on the wrong drive. Over here somewhere, Angel and Devil. Starlight Angel. I'm not going to change that because that's not user facing. Whip, and I want that one right there. Not the one that says panty though. Did I not change the name of this to... Well, that's the one there. Still says panty. Although it was supposed to say dress. I could have sworn I changed it. I feel like I'm doing things and they're not getting done. Okay, so we're going to update that. It is scaled a little bit, and I see it still has that scaling in here, so we're going to accept that. That's the modified shape that I want for Genesis 9. So we're going to resave this. Actually, I'm going to recalculate the smoothing modifier. So we're going to come in here and remove the smoothing modifier. And then we're going to reapply the smoothing modifier. When Daz makes a smoothing modifier, it bases it on the shape of the geometry. It's one of the options. So because I changed the shape a little bit, I'm going to regenerate the smoothing modifier. Let me just double check and see if we still have, it still has sub D on it. So I think we're good there. I think we still have the D-force. We'll just do a quick. D-force is still good, so I'm going to cancel that. Clear the simulation. All right, I'm just going to resave this. Actually, we're going to rename this, right? Because you're supposed to say, Stellar Angel Dress. Also, I'm going to make sure that it's changed over here. That just says Angel Dress. You know what? That's probably what screwed me up. I'm going to say Stellar. Make sure that says Stellar. And accept that. And now I'm going to resave this back out over that. So here it will save as a figure prop asset. That's the Genesis 9 one. Let's not overwrite that just yet. And maybe not at all if I'm lucky. There's the one we're looking at. Does it exist? It exists. Let's accept that. It might be good. Let's see how this went. There we go. All right, I think I'm good. So that's going to be the dress. It's got faux lace on the front. It'll have a zipper in the back. Likewise, the boots are going to have laces on the front. I'm not actually going to have a way to get them off. Technically, these boots would probably have a zipper in the back, but I'm skipping that part. But right now we're working on the wings. So let's get back into the wings. I'm going to export this a couple of times because I want to set up some vertex groups. I want to actually be able to rig this in Daz for just simple flappy motion. I think I'm good here. So, and also if you want to see, if we take a look, there's the geometry nodes in the background. Only I changed it so that I'm just using a regular NURBS curve. In the tutorial, he makes his own curve. But I don't know. I found it a little fidgety to get it the way I wanted it, so I went ahead and made my own curve and then attached to that instead. So this is what that's looking like. So I'm going to export you. So right now it's not a, we're going to export it because then we can make it in geometry, bring it back in, then I can assign the vertex groups. Then I'm going to export it again, and then I can rig it in Daz. Only I probably want to scale it a little bit. So I think when I bring in the Daz, I'm going to scale it and then export one more time to lock the scaling in. And then we'll bring it in and rig it. And then we're going to tease the textures on it. So anyhow, let's do that. So I have this selected. We're going to hit the export button. I'm going to use my Daz preset. The important thing is it's selected only. This other stuff's kind of important, but the real important thing is that. So I don't export everything that's in the scene. And there's a lot of stuff hanging around in the scene. Angel wings, there we go. I'm just gonna overwrite that. Pop into here, and we'll import that in real quick. Angel wings. So that's, this is kind of like a costume actually. So we're gonna take that. So they're going to set right about there. And I want to make them kind of costumey small. So I think I'm going to make them like that big. The positioning is going to be a little bit different for Genesis, whatchamacallit. Actually, I'm having some weird thoughts. I probably should resize this, because if I make changes in here, I might be able to use those as morph targets. Is morph. So you're going to be right about there. I think I'm going to export that. I don't know. Are you my whip? You're not the right whip. Maybe that one there. That's better. I'm just going to overwrite that. And does that look good? I think it's fine. You know what? I probably imported that scaled. Doesn't make any difference. That's the size I want it to be. So let's import here. Hey, MRU, how are you doing? It's going well enough, I suppose. It's actually a nice day outside. Although it's getting up to about 80 today. Import. So what I want to do is I want to position this close to that, I think is what we really want. And I want to scale it down a bit. Yeah, glad to see you here. And when I do that, I'm going to have to redo the feathers, because they're not going to scale with everything else. So if I scale, scale. Actually, it is scaling. That worked. GZ. You know what? I think somewhere in there is about right. GY. Maybe a little smaller. You know what? What am I? You know what? It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to bring that in like that. And we'll hide this other angel wing. And I'm hopeful that when I settle on this, I can actually changes made to this, because it's still actually an active curve geometry node object. If I can export those out and possibly make morph targets with this. That's the idea. So am I going to do, I want to do a double export because I want to bring in and assign vertex groups, which is going to be easier to do than in DAS. I've got a little bit of an overlap in here. I think I want to move you out just a little bit though, so I can have a little clear spot right in the middle there. Kind of like that. And then let's see if this works. If I can export you, I'm going to bring you back in for a second. So I'm going to re-import that. I'm going to look at you from the front. I'm going to assign some vertex groups. I'm going to assign, I don't know, I guess wing right and wing left. So activate the X-ray, kind of come through here. All right, let's do a plus. Can I just, yeah, I'm just going to say wing L. Actually, let's just say wing left. Let's see if that works. And assign that. Control I. Wing R. And I just did this backwards. Damn. I was just on the right wing. The Though we're doing the wings as if you're wearing them. So this is the right side. That's the left side. And then this was going to be wing L. And I'll assign that. And I should be able to export that again. And I may have to do this a couple more times depending on how my textures are looking on that. I've got a rough working texture on here. We'll probably load that in. Anyhow, I don't think I need you. Let's try to rig this. So let's bring up the, do I have the figure? I don't. Let's get the figure setup tab open up here. Panes, if I can remember how to do this. Figure setup, there we go. I did this with the tail, I think, what, last weekend or the week before for the devil outfit. So what we want to do is add a geometry. We're going to add the wings. Okay, I still have that scaling from before. We're going to switch that back to 10,000. Okay, I should have two parts, 1 and 2. I don't know what you are. I think, so do I just drag you over like that? And then, you know what I need? I need to know what a rotation order is here. And I'm just going to do it like these. They're just going to all based on the center. We're going to call that, I'm going to rename that maybe base. Anyhow, I'm going to look at this arm and I'm going to see what the rotation order is because it's kind of like the same rotation order I'm going to want for these. So let's do that. Where's my tool settings? There we go. XYZ. It says XYZ. Okay, let's go check the other arms. They are also XYZ. So these are all good. I don't know what off is, honestly. I may, if I can track it down, assign it to one or the other and then delete it out. So I think I was going to rename that, right? Base. Wing base. Can I just rename you? I guess not. I'm not sure what you are. Is there a properties or something that tells me? Oh, anyhow, let's see how this works. We'll hit create. All right, I got wings. We're going to tweak that. That's for darn sure. Let's close that down. Let's see what we've got. I don't know what off is. Off is like the base, isn't it? And I should just center that here. And I'll just call that base. And then we'll just parent these off of off. Is what I'm thinking. And I have that wing there. It shouldn't do anything because I think I have to put the actually we're going to convert this to weight map. I will eventually remember how I'm doing this. So hard. So let's I'm going to delete that. We're just going to come back to here. And maybe call that wing base. Can I just not, can I rename you? Edit name, there we go. Wings base. Then create. Although wings base probably should be YZX, so we're going to delete that again. And I'm going to switch your rotation order to YZX. All right, now we'll create. There we go. Let's see how this goes. I have to assign weight maps. Before I do that, though, I kind of want to see how it's looking. I'm going to put my janky map on here. So let's come over to Angel Wings. Let's come over to Surface. Why do you still say off? What the hell? Did I not change you to Wings Base? And we'll probably recenter that. That I'm going to get rid of that name there. And we're going to call you Stellar. And we'll take a look at our surfaces. It probably says default. It says material. We'll just call that wings. I only have one material on here. I guess I could make the fluff a different material and each feather a different one, but yeah, I'm lazy. I might do that later. Probably not though. All right, let's put the base shader on. Let me go see where I hid my transmap. Hopefully I stuck it in the texture folder. There they are. I remapped it, so I don't think I need that one anymore. I think this is the one I'm going to want. And I probably should just call you Stellar now that I'm renamed everything. I think that's the right one because I fixed the U. I'm going to redo these feathers textures. These are from a Biscuits Merchant Resource. I definitely want to redo that one. Maybe that one. And I think I want these ones to be a little sparser. Anywho, we're just going to right now drop that into the opacity. Also, I'm just going to drop it into the bump for now. And I'm just going to do a quick render and see if how unhappy I am with that. Let's take a quick look here. I might live with that. Those are looking a little weird. I think I just need a lighter texture in there. You know, I'm just going to switch over to Iray here for a little bit. And we'll just kind of zoom in. And am I in? I am. So let's uncheck that. Come on, Iray. Resolve. Resolve. I don't have either. I've got. No, I have the perspective camera on. I can't have a. Arg. Daz is being funky. Do I have something in the background that's bothering me? I don't know. I think that's probably going to be close enough. Let me see if I can load a morph target in here. Let's go back to texture shaded. Can I see the I can kind of see those. I do want those to be a little fluffier. That texture we're definitely going to update. And I'm going to test the ability to load a morph target in here. Let's see how this goes. So anyhow, those are actual meshes. So if I come back to the Nope. That one right there. There we go. So if I make changes on this, I'm going to try to alter the feather rotation a little bit, see if that, and then maybe play with the curve a little bit. So I think smart thing is to maybe make a duplicate before I break it too much. And we'll use a little soft selection, and I'll move that. So ideally, I'm going to take soft selection off here for a second. Ideally, the geometry should be the same because I'm not actually making anything that should be changing vertex order or number of instances or anything here. We're just kind of changing. So I'm going to try to change this parameter here to get that to point out further. See if I can do that. That's in the geometry node somewhere, if I can remember. I think it's somewhere. Small feathers, large feathers. It's one of these, I believe. So we're looking at these big feathers, which I think is driven kind of by this. No, that kind of rotates it, sorry. Arg. That rotates that one. What is the one that does the something in here angles this, and I forget what it is. It might have actually be over here somewhere, and I might have broken it. I'm trying to remember how this stuff works. Yeah, actually, it might have been somewhere in here. So can I may not be able, I might have to do some weird deforming. I'm just going to do a test. I'm not going to keep this, and I may not use this method to make morphs. I may not add very many morphs at all, honestly. It is supposed to kind of be a static costume piece. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Angel Wing morph. This is Angel Wing test morph. We'll pop back into here. Let me see. Dang it. Let's see if we can load that in as a morph target. Yep, totally in the wrong folder. Hey, it actually worked. So if I'm able to change that, my problem is I just can't get these to rotate anymore. There's probably a way to do that with GeoNodes, but frankly, I don't know GeoNodes. I just followed the tutorial without quite understanding what everything does. But I can make a morph. Okay. I think so are you? Oh, I have, so we have to assign weight maps to this. so that we can pose it. Because right now, if we try to pose it, nothing happens. Also, let me just make sure my bones are looking good. Those are fine. So what we need to do is come over to, yeah, I'm going to click on this, and is it edit convert? I always forget what I'm doing. We need to convert you to a weight map. Right now it's a parametric, or something like that. I forget what it is. Edit, rigging, convert general weight to tri-X. That's not what I want to go the other way. Convert figure to weight map. I think that's what I want. Convert tri-X to general weight. Says I've got, I need to select a parametric. Let me try tri-X. Did I try tri-X? Selected figure has been converted to the general weight map. Okay, we're good. Now we need to assign these to the bones. Sorry, this goes slowly because I don't do this often enough to remember what I'm doing. You are assigned to the bones. Okay, so the next step is to weight map. So you know what? We're going to take this and we're going to side by side that. I'm over here on the other side. And then what we're going to do is we'll come into weight map, painting, come to the tools, general weights. I don't need the rest of these, honestly, so we're just going to delete that stuff off. Remove. At least I think that. I think the only one I really need is the general. So we're going to do a geometry selection, select by face group and wing left. And we're just going to fill that 100%. Weight editing, fill selection 100%. I think we're good. I don't know why I see two of these. Did I inadvertently get two things in here? Is that what happened? Wing base. Let me see what I get. Let's do the other wing. And if wing base is all of this stuff, I'm just going to select it and delete it out. Because apparently I got like I'm doubling something up in here. Then I can't use that to make morphs anymore. That'll be fine. Brain has stopped. I am general weight mapping. There we go. Weight paint. You know, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. Need that. Let's just do a geometry clear selection. Geometry selection. Select by face group. Wing R. That didn't seem to select anything. Geometry selection, clear selection. You know what? Let me try something. Geometry selection, selected by face group off. I do got duplicates in here. I'm just going to weight edit. No, not weight edit. We want to come over to the geometry editor. And not that one. Let's convert you to a face selection. Let's switch to face. Apparently I have to be in face to do this. Geometry selection. Select by face group off. Geometry editing. Delete. Yes. Okay, I think we're making progress. Okay, geometry selection. Select by face group wing R. Okay, I've got that selected. We pop over to here. Well, you know what? You just don't see the selections in here. That's why I was going crazy. Weight editing, fill selection, accept. That didn't seem to do anything. All right, let's take a quick peek over at the geometry editor and see if I actually have. I do. You are selected. I have the wing R selected. Did I have? Oh, I didn't have the general. Damn it. I didn't have that selected when I did the fill. At least I don't think I did. Let's try this again. Nope. All right, I'm rightly confused. See, that looks good. That isn't doing anything. Right? To clear the selection, select by face group R. So that worked. Okay, now I have it selected. And now I've got it painted. Okay, finally. So now we can just move those around. And I don't think I need this wing base anymore. Can I just reassign? I think I can reparent these bones to the, and then get rid of that wing bone. Edit. Is there like a change? Edit. Convert. Property name. Reparent bone. There we go. All right, one down. Edit reparent bone is good. Now this bone I can just delete. We should be good. And now we're just based on that. If I can Control Shift F that, they go back into place. So I just want to tweak the textures. Actually, I want the center. I want to move the center of the bones right up into here though. So we're just going to adjust that. And you know what? I'm going to pull that over just a little bit. And we're just going to copy that. Pop over to here. Paste that, but make it negative. Pop back into here. I'm just going to copy that. There's probably a way to mirror this. By the time I figured it out, I'd be done though. All right, we're going to go with that. That's going to be my wings. Let's memorize that. I'm going to save those out as wings. Boop, boop, boo. Are you my? Yep, there we go. Okay. Stellar Angel wings. I'm going to use this for Genesis 8 and Genesis 9, so we're not going to specify. I'm just going to parent this. Maybe we'll just parent it to the chest. Actually, what I might do is I might make a little set of straps as if it's a real world one. And then we can parent to that, and then we can hide the straps if you don't want to see them. We might do that. Anyhow, what I'm doing, I'm typing in wings. Wings. I forgot to shout out Charles. Uh-oh. There we go. Stellar Angel wings. Okay, you are part of Stellar Angel. Your wings, and you're just going to be, I'm going to call you actually an attachment. And you're going to attach to, do I get an option for upper body? We'll just say upper body. Torso. What are my options in here? Front, back. There we go. And I'll just accept that. And now I want to tweak the textures on this a little bit. I'm not happy with the texture here, so I'm going to replace that with, and we're going to update this. So this, do I have a whip file for you? Right there, there's my feather textures. We'll open that with the Photoshop. Open with the Photoshop. And so I hate that texture. I'm going to get rid of that. These, I want them to be a lot looser or fluffier. Actually, if I took this and put it in here, that might work. Anyhow, and this one I'm just going to totally replace. I think I'm going to, I have this feather generator for Blender. I'm going to use that to make a texture for this. And that's actually my feather template. And then we're going to use some of the Biscuits feather textures. You can use up to 5 in a project. And we're going to update these with maybe a fluffier version, something like that. I might actually even take that and trim it a little bit. Anyhow, let me dig that up. Your projects and merchant resources and Biscuits, feather merchant resource. There we go. So I think that's the one. Yeah, we're going to use that one. I'm just going to drop that in here. And you know what? I think I'm just going to pull you up a little bit. Trim you in a little bit like that. Let's put you up here. Let's see. I think that one can go away. Yep. All right. I got to rasterize that. I need to tweak you just a little bit, don't I? Because I want that to be like in there. I might leave that one. I'm going to get rid of that one. I might just swap it out for this for right now. And let me see if I got one other. Maybe we'll use that one. which means I'm going to lose that one there. Rasterize that. And I'm going to actually dupe that. I almost did a Shift D. I'm in the wrong program for that, aren't I? I should probably map Shift D to duplicate in Blender. That would make sense. My brain would certainly appreciate that. So I have to think. I have mapped shortcuts in Daz to match those in Blender. If I hit the G key in Daz, it brings up the translation tool, just like Blender. All right, and that one I hate, so we're going to get rid of you. And that one I hate, so we're going to get rid of you. So I'm going to use the feather generator. Am I going to use it twice, or do I want to just use it once? And was I pointed the right way, or am I on the wrong map? These actually need to go that way because I remapped this. At least I think I did. Anyhow, I'm going to hide you. I'm going to bring you back, and we're going to hit save on this. And I'm happy with this wings so far. So I'm going to stop messing around with that, and we're going to relaunch Blender. And I'm going to open up this geometry node cool feather thing. It's called GeoFeathers. I think I picked it up on Gumroad for like a few bucks. So I'm going to use that as a starting point, I think. And I'm going to try to make a, I should try to, I don't have normal maps for these though. I could actually use Substance to make that. You know, Blender used to have an ability to just stupidly convert, but they got rid of all the 3D stuff. Or maybe I'll just find one of those online height to normal converters and just use this as a height map and see how that works. Just to maybe, or maybe I don't even need to do that. Maybe we just use this as a height map. That'll give it enough extra detail. I may color these up too a little bit, but we'll see. Anyhow, I like that feather. I need to get a version of that out as white. Also, if we look at this, this is actually kind of an add-on over here somewhere. Feather something. Let's pull that out so I can actually, feather generator, that's what it's called. Or it might be called GeoFeathers over on Gumroad. I forget how to find it again. Anyhow, that didn't do anything. So I'm going to lighten it up a little bit, I think, so I can just get a little more transparent effect out of there. I'm going to put that back for distribution. I don't know, that didn't really do anything. Feather profile shape left. You know what? We're going to go with that. I think we'll do that. For rotation left. For profile right. What I might do is my second feather might be something like that one there. But for right now, we're going to go back to that. So I think we're just going to use that. Let's see if we can switch over to this. It's got colors. We're going to switch this to be whites. Yo, Habib, how are you doing? Do you have a figure about reading clothes in Daz? Sort of, but you're not going to like it. I am currently doing a series of making a product for Daz. It is a 9-part series. It's basically I did my whole process on stream, and so I think the current part of the currently 4 parts are out. The 5th part will come out on Tuesday. So I'm trying to release two every week until I get to 10. Well, 9 of them are going to be live streams, and then the 10th part I'm just going to quickly go over. It is on YouTube. Yes, sir. It's on YouTube. You know what? I need a YouTube link. We're going to do that right now. I'm being distracted. That's fine. I've been meaning to add a YouTube link anyhow. Anyhow, here, Control V. That's it there. So let's add a YouTube command. I'm still using Streamer CloudBot. Someday I'll just switch completely over to StreamerBot. But I've got so many commands in CloudBot, I've just been too lazy. So anyhow, we'll do that. I'm gonna log in over here though. Stream Labs. So there's the link to my channel there, and if you go there, you should be able to find in the videos. Making clothes for Daz, part 1 through 4. The rigging and touching up morphs are in there. I use ZBrush though, because GoZ just works so easily. Although you could just do it in Blender. I mean, if you're doing it in Blender, you would export an OBJ, clean up, and then bring it back. And I do tricks. I have a like a bodysuit that has morphs built into it that I transfer those over to the clothes. And that helps smooth it out. And then from there, I will smooth it out further with ZBrush. Or if you're in Blender, you would just export the OBJ out with the morph name, do your changes, and then import it back with the morph name. I can quickly kind of show that after I write this command, because I'm doing, let's log in using my Twitch account. And let's go over here to CloudBot. All right, there's CloudBot. Let's go to commands. Let's add a command. You know what? I'm going to do this twice. I'm going to do one for YT, YouTube. Also, we're going to do one that's going to be spelled out. Check out my YouTube channel here. All right, let's confirm that. Command. Let's add a command. This one's going to be, I'm just going to spell YouTube out this time. And we'll just say the same thing and confirm that. And we'll come over here and see if that's working. There we go. Fix YouTube in the command. Did that not work? There we go. There's my channel. If you go to videos, here's the series of videos on making a swimsuit. Honestly, I'm not sure where I get it into Daz. It might start here, and then I start making morphs maybe back in here. That might be in part 5 as well, which is going to be out on Tuesday. So I'll just do a quick overview on how to clean that stuff up anyhow. So I'm going to put this to the side. We're going to come back over to Daz real quick. Because what I got, so if I'm cleaning up and you're cleaning up breast morphs or something on this dress here, I haven't added the morphs in here yet. So I'm just going to pretend, and I'm going to delete it out later. I'm in the wrong thing. Let's switch over to the universal tool. So, I don't know. Are you talking about fixing, if you dial in a morph, fixing morphs or something else? That's horrible. Um, this is why I don't fix morphs this way. What I actually built a bodysuit for this. Yeah, I know. Um, so I have a special bodysuit I made with Marvelous Designer, which does that smoothed. So here is the bodysuit. I put the bodies. Actually, I have a dress version of it. Let's use the dress version. So now when I come to here, and it still could use some improvement, but it's better than just nothing. So that's what I have set up for this dress. And I made this using Marvelous Designer. I would add the morphs. Marvelous Designer would deform this, and then I save that as a morph target. So what I can do, and I can't do this now because I already generated the morph in the clothes. I think I can delete that. Come back in here. And I don't know if any of this makes sense. I do this a lot, so I'm probably going way too fast. So this is the dress. I'm just gonna, it's not attached to anything right now. I'm actually gonna parent the dress to the body dress there. And then it'll auto fit based on the body dress and not the character. So that gives me a lot better starting point. What am I doing? I'm attaching you to something. General, fit to, and I'm going to fit that to the body dress, right? And I'm going to accept that. So it's not perfect, but it's a heck of a lot better than before. Now I'm just going to parent you back to the main figure. So now that morph has been generated, it's a little bit better. At this point, I would then use ZBrush. Or if you don't have ZBrush, you would export this out and then re-import it with the name of the morph you're changing. I'll do this with ZBrush real quick. And what I need is I need the name of the morph. So I conveniently keep copies of the morphs over here so I don't have to remember what these morphs are called. I can just come over here, and what we dialed in was this one right here. This is why I can't remember PBM breast shape 01. You think I would be able to at this point, but I can't. So I'm going to copy that. Now we're going to open up ZBrush. And like I said, if you're using Blender, you would then export using that morph name. ZBrush is opening. Open. There we go. This is why I like ZBrush. It's the only thing I use ZBrush for. Oh, I got the dress in here. I can still smooth it out a bit. I generally wouldn't do this with the body dress in here. I forgot. Okay, I gotta go to edit. I'm gonna frame. We're gonna zoom in. So the part that was bad was here in the breast. I'm gonna just set my brush. And I'm gonna set the smoothing brush down to there. So I've just changed the intensity. This is kind of mirrored, so I'm gonna activate mirroring with ZBrush. And what I'm doing is I'll just smooth it out to start with. And then I'm just going to slowly build it back up. This is probably okay. That might be clipping a little bit. That got a little janky. I might actually end up having to do these. You know, Blender does a really nice smoothing on that. hit the Go Z, put that morph name right there. Dang it. I accidentally copied instead of pasting. Damn it. Okay, let's try this again. Control V, overwrite the existing morph, accept that, and there you go. I've got my adjusted morph shape. These laces might end up being a problem, and like I said, I might end up having to just redo these all in Blender, which is going to be really tedious. That's going to be a day of fun. Anyhow, that's kind of the overview of how I fix the breast morphs like that. I mean, does this mean you need to make a morph for every different character? Only the ones you want to support. I don't support characters. So if you look at my Daz products, it lists the stuff I support. I do support, so basically I have my Genesis 8 and Genesis 9s are customized a little bit, so I have favorites. And this lists all the morphs that I want to support. So I support the basic breast morphs, and I support the basic body shapes. They just crank out too many characters for me to keep up with, so I don't bother supporting those. And if you list it, I mean, Daz is fine with that, and Renderosity is fine with that. As long as you specify, to the user what exactly they're getting. So if you say, if you say it includes these morphs and you don't list Eddie, and they're complaining that it doesn't fit Eddie, sorry, it doesn't fit your Darcy the male girl. Sorry, I I don't support Darcy the male girl, despite how much I like her. Anyhow, that's the quick overview of that. I'm going to go back to texturing the wings now. And I'm probably going to redo these. These laces are going to give me a little bit of a problem, I think. I don't know. Let me just double check. I can come back. I still have this open in here. If I make you smaller, and if I hit smooth, you're not doing anything because my smoothing's too small or something. Or am I just not? Maybe I'm just too small. Oh, I know what it is. It's the stupid. This always blows my mind with smoothing with ZBrush. I always forget that I have to reset the minimum connected to the smooth edges. But you can see that went a little fast. Blender smooths a lot better with strips like this. And that's why I'm thinking I might do Blender instead. So after I make these changes, I can then go ahead and reload those. And it overwrites. I hope that was hope that clarifies somewhat. That doesn't look horrible. Yeah, I'm gonna torture myself and clean these all up in Blender. Damn it. So basically, I'm just gonna have to export all of those out. You're gonna make a trip into town to go to Walmart. I'm not sure when I'll be back. All right, Charles, we will catch you later. Hey, everybody, check out CS Bond, by the way. He hasn't been streaming, but he does have a cool Discord. If you got not safe for work pictures, don't post them in my Discord, but you can share them at Charles as long as it's just not straight up porn. He likes the erotica, the classy nudes. There we go. That's allowed over there. All right, I'm going to go back to what I was doing. I'm retexturing his wings because I don't like that feather texture I'm currently using. I'm going to swap it out with, I'm using the wing generator, and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to change those colors. Do I have colors? blue feather. What are you getting the blue from? Maybe we come over to here. That might be good enough. I need to get rid of this grid in the background, though. Let me see if I can remember how to do that. Oh, hold on a second. All right, it's the cat. The cat has wandered into the room. Am I in camera? I can't tell. I don't see myself anymore. Um, yeah, he probably wants popcorn. Let's turn the grid off. I was looking at that right there, wasn't I? Somewhere here. We're going to turn that grid off so I got a nice clean background. I actually want that to be black though. It's probably somewhere. I haven't done this in so long, I don't remember how to change a background black. I don't know if I've actually ever done that in my 6+ years of solid Blender usage. Blender change background color. Look at that. There we go. It's probably in preferences somewhere. Uh, world properties, global icon, surface selection. Okay, I think that's it. We'll see if AI overview is screwing with me or not. Which one of you is world? World properties, surface selection, background. It says black. So that's not where it is. I think that's for rendering. Viewer edit preferences. Okay, so edit preferences. That's what I was thinking. Edit preferences. Themes. 3D viewport. Theme space, gradient colors. Theme space. Gradient colors. Gradient colors. Single color. Okay, there, that's what I want. I'm just going to print screen this. I'm going to make this maximize that. You can't see the bottom anymore, I know. Can I think that's there's a way to change that too. All right, let's alt print screen that. Let's pop over to Photoshop. Let's Control N, and I'm going to put that over here. We're going to just crop that out. I missed. Image crop. All right, I'm going to adjust the curves on that. That was is that Control M? That's what I wanted. There we go. So we're going to set that point right there. And do I want to punch up the shadows a bit? Not for this. You know, for the I'm going to just go with that. Okay. Control A, C, Control V. I don't know where you are. Control Shift C. Let's try this. Oh, you didn't paste in. There you are. Control T. And let's line you up maybe in here somewhere. let's set that, let's put that down in there. That looks good. Although I want to get it a little further down. I think that might work. Now let's set up a feather that's a little more rounded and we'll put it over in here. Can I just Shift D? And then we'll just play with this. So if we say 0, I don't like that. It's kind of cool how it has these different profiles. You know what? Maybe we go with 1, and maybe we put 1 on the other side. One side is longer than the other, so I think that is rotation. Profile shape. I'm just typing in the numbers I see up there. I'm just kind of trying to spot. Oh, that was fuzziness. I might just. Why does that look so much fuzzier than the other side? 90, 40.07. 69. Oh, there we go. That's what I want right there. All right. I'll print screen that. Pop over Photoshop. You know what? I can just probably, no, I already changed you. Okay, image crop that. Control M to adjust the curves. Control C over to here. Control B. Control T. And we're just going to put you in this slot here. Probably good. Let's see how this is looking. Turn you off. All right, we'll just save you. Export as. Export. Did I lose? Oh, the other one probably says, other one's probably a PNG, isn't it? I'll swap it out for this. Oh, that's why they both had the same name, but were different. Stellar, angel, wing, feathers, opacity. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Let's see if we can make a grown man cry. Did I change the name of that? I did. Okay, excellent. All right, now we'll just swap these out for that one. I might want to flip this. Yeah, I want to flip that one, I think. Because I want it the other way. Da, 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 da. All right. Control. Can I just image? Where's the image rotation flip? No, I didn't want to flip the canvas. I just want to flip the selection. It's edit transform. There we go. Let's try that. Let me just make sure I'm still on. I've drifted a little bit off the template, I think. We'll just nudge you back a little bit. There we go. All right, now we'll save you. File, export as. I still see the template in there. Let's cancel that. I forgot to hide that thing. There we go. Let's do this again. Overwrite that. Dum, dum, dum. All right. Yeah, I don't know if it automatically refreshed or not. Let's see how you are looking. I like that better. I might be able to live with that. Although that's looking a little sparse now. And it could use a little bit of tweaking. This got a little offline from here. So I think I'm going to maybe update the geometry. I am going to give this like feathers and fluff. Maybe I'll break it out into separate materials. Anyhow, let's cancel that. So let's tweak the the wings, because my fluff gets a little off from here. Also, I'm going to give these some, we'll give these some materials. And what I'm going to do is I'll bring the object back in. We use the transfer tool to rig it to this one. And then I'll probably resave that. So where is the Blender? Oh, that's right. I closed it. I'm going to hit save on this, and we're going to reopen the wings. Open recent angel wings. There we go. Everything's still black. Let's switch this back to the default. Now that I remember how to do this. Is it edit preferences? Yep, edit preferences. Themes. 3D viewport. Theme space. Gradient colors. And we'll just put you back to normal. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to increase the number of these things. And let's get some materials names in here. I got my, where's my small feathers? Let's bring that up. Tab in here. Let's tab out. Let's select all of these. Actually, tab out. Tab in a small feathers, or feathers small. We'll do that. Okay, tab out. Okay, this one, I'm just going to call these feathers large. Am I in? I am in object. All right. Now when this gets exported, it should have those material names. Fingers crossed. All right, let's increase the fluff. So we're going to have to go back into the geometry editor. Bum, bum, bum. And somewhere in here, over here, here's the fluff. Something in here does the counts. There, that, and that. If I say 75 and 30. You look like you line up a little bit better, though, in here. I don't know what happened. Yo, Blux, how are you doing? Anyhow, let's export this back out. I'm going to actually say wings, too. I'm making angel wings in the Blender. Activate the DAZ preset, hit the export button, pop back over to not there, but over here. Let's hide this for a second. That's a lot of, it is a lot of feathers. You're my import. Those are the wings we just did. That added like 3 megabytes to the mesh. Am I multiply? Now, am I somehow getting some sort of weird duplicity thing going on here when this gets exported? I kind of get the feeling it is. You know what? I'm going to bring it in, merge it, and then export it back out. I think we'll do that just to be safe. I noticed last time I was getting some sort of weird ghost or extra meshing in there. So to clear that up, F5. Let's grab you. Let's tab in. Let's go into point mode and select everything. And then we'll merge by distance. And I'm going to double check and make sure it's really, 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 really small. Okay, should be good. All right, now let's tab out. Export that. Let's try to bring it in again. You know, there it is. It's half the size. So apparently, for some reason, it's like duplicating the mesh. I'm not sure. It probably has something to do with the GeoNodes that I don't understand. It could be the way I've got, you know, it's probably because the way I'm mirroring it. I probably have a mirror on that mesh, which means it's flipping, something like that. Anyhow, I did use GeoNodes. I followed a tutorial. I'll be I'll be damned if I know how to. These were, well, they're actual geometry now. So I basically followed the tutorial and said, hey, make these cool wings. And I'm going, you know what? I like the way your wings look. I would like my wings to kind of look like that. And did I get my 2 material zones in here? I did not get my 2 material zones in here. Rasso Frassos Bracket. Let's you know what? We're gonna assign our 2 material zones. I can do this. I think. It's not that important. So that's going to be feathers large. That's going to be feathers small. So I think we're good. Let's try this again. All right, I know you have to convert GeoNodes to geometry for Unreal Engines. Yeah, I mean, yeah, instancing is not practical unless I want to do, 100 different feathers. I don't have a good way to do that in Daz. And you're looking okay, so I'm going to re-import you. Well, and in here it's a geometry nodes, and that's not it. But I'm just that thing there. If we come over here, so let me find the tutorial again. I have it up here where dude says, "Hey, you're not my." There we are, creating crazy realistic wings in Blender 4.3. There we go. It's pretty clear. I followed it. There was, of course, one hiccup because this video was made at the beginning of the year, and of course, Blender has had to change some stuff because that's just what they do in Blender. So invariably, every tutorial is going to have that one step that got changed. It's unless it was made yesterday. If it was made 2 weeks ago, there's that one step that no longer does what the guy in the video says it does. Hold on, I gotta close the door. Oh, I'm pasting the link. Sorry about that. There we go. There's the link to the YouTube video. This looks nicer because he's really using these super detailed meshes in Blender, but I'm going to Daz, so I don't want to do that. Even at that, this thing is still like just under 4 megabytes in geometry. But that usually isn't the real problem with Daz. The real problem with Daz is when you have too many large textures. Those things eat up your memory real fast. I don't either. I just follow the tutorials. And when something goes wrong, I was able to figure out, oh, wait a minute, that's not a thing anymore. It's over here in this dial. So I got lucky. All right, there is the updated one. I'm going to accept that. There we go. I got my, oh no, I screwed up my, it'll be fine. I'm not that worried about it. I should have assigned all of those. All right, we're going to go back and fix that. Wait, never mind. Let's do this proper, like. I'm in the wrong one. I think that was it right there. Yeah. All right, let's. So what I need is these. Oh no. Oh no. Control L. I missed the ends. Control L. Okay, now let's assign. And if I hide that, I've got something else in here, don't I? Because that's not. I think I'm good. You're one of these other things left over, aren't you? Yeah, what are you? Oh, you're down here. Got it. Oh no, where did it go? Wrong wing. I think I'm good. I'm not sure what you are. Okay, that was the one I was working on. Let me just make sure I got my merge done. Now let's try this again. Okay, let's get you into DAS this time. I think I'm good. All right, I think I'm. And that doesn't have the same problem the other wings had. I don't know. Anyhow, let me just put my base shader on that. Let's go grab our cut opacity map somewhere in here. I believe that's you. And I'm also just going to slack and use that as a bump map. And let me see how this is looking. I don't know. I think I'm exporting out without enough density. I think I've screwed this up a couple of times now. I'm almost there. I'm happy with the feather texture. There's that. I'm just not happy with that. I think I may have screwed this up twice in a row now. Because that's the way I work. So apparently I don't need you. I don't think. I probably don't need you. What I want is, I think I want not that one. So I'm coming back to here. I'm just going to double check my geometry nodes and see if we actually, I'm in the wrong one. Never mind. I did. I may not have exported this out. That might have been my problem. Okay, hide that. I'm going to import because I'm doing the weird. Actually, let me just double check. Am I actually mirroring this? No, you're nothing but geonodes. Well, so why am I getting that weird doubling? I don't know, but I can fix it. We have the technology. Okay, I'm going to reassign the materials. Add some modifiers. Let's get rid of you. Oh, I have to be out here. Get rid of you. Let's switch you back to small feathers. Let's switch you back to large feathers. Let's tab in, select everything, make sure it's all merged together. Then I'm just going to make sure I've got my assignments done. Bring you along. Hopefully, my materials went away. Do that side. Do this side. Of course, I've only got one material zone in here, which means everything's that. Damn it. I got to do this again. Okay, Control I. Now we'll add the other. Uh-oh. I got part of this in there. That's okay. We can fix that. It should be good. Let's see if I'm happy with this yet. And it might be a matter of just tweaking the texture some. I made these a lot thinner, so it might just be looking weird now. And I forgot to do something. I'm going to just take a quick peek. All right, that's the file size I wanted. That 3 megabytes, something. Oh, I still have a render window open here. I don't need you. You can go away. Okay. Bump map. We'll do that. You know what? I'm going to overcrank you. And opacity map. All right, now let me see if I'm making any decent looking progress here. I hope so. Control R. That's a bit more in line, I think. It's not perfect. And at this angle, I'm lining right up with those feathers. I might tweak the shaping some in ZBrush. Anyhow, let me rig this. Well, actually, I'm going to do one more. We'll do a render test here. And since we've already rigged it once, we're just going to use the transfer tool. What is going on with this? It keeps moving when it renders, but I'm not seeing them sitting there. It's like there's a displacement on here or something, but I don't think there is. I mean, what I could do is I could just tweak the texture map so you don't get those ends. See, I see my fluff up here, and then I see those ends coming through. Yeah, I think we just need, we'll just touch the texture up a little. We'll cheat. We'll trim the bottom of those off. I'm still rendering. Let's stop that. Oh no, you're and Daz is being a butt. I think it's running out of memory or something, so it's not doing a nice render there. All right, let's put a new layer here. And I'm just going to get a paintbrush. I'm just going to make you a little bit larger. Actually, let's, I'm going to fuzz that up a little bit. Nope. Somebody had a selection on. I forgot. All right, is that making any progress? Yeah, a little bit better. All right, I'm just going to re-rig this, save it, and call it a day on the wings, and then we'll move on to something else because I've wasted nearly 2 hours on this. Let's go back to texture shaded. All right, I have a set of wings in here that we rigged, but I completely messed up the geometry, so I can't just that there. So let's see if I can just transfer tool this to that. So I'm going to take the angel wings, and we're going to take the other angel wing object, and I'm just going to accept that. And let's see how that is. Oh, you got parented to there? Well, I'm parent you. That's right, it automatically parented. I'm going to fit to. We're going to take that to none. Accept that. Turn that off, and let's see how this goes. All right, there, I've rigged it. It picked up the rigging. Perfectly fine. That's all I wanted to do. It's basically a costume angel wing. Control Shift. Start with the mesh line and instance on points. Very simple geonode. You mean in DAZ? Or are you talking Blender? Control Shift F. Let's just add an easy flap control in here. Edit mode. Let's add create a property in here. I'm going to put you in controls, and you're going to be flap wings. Oh, Blender geometry nodes basic setup. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know geometry nodes that well. I just follow the tutorial and it just falls right out of the brain. Although I was able to swap in my own NURBS curve for his GeoNode NURBS curve setup. Am I done with this? So I want to say flap. I want to say, actually, let's say wings flap. I'm going to do that. Because I'm going to say wings up and down and wings twist as well. I'm going to create that. And then we'll just do create another property in here. Following the Ducky 3D did motion graphics design. And then this one is going to be wings up, down. Wings up, down, in controls. You know what? I should have changed the color. I'm going to make you all green. I'll go back and change the color on the other one. Although that's my adjustment color. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, let's add one more control in here. Wings twist. Set the color of the dial. Okay, create that. All right, now we're just going to so if I bend, nope, I want to go, is it side to side? Yeah, let's do, if I say minus 90 and minus 90 on that one, right? And then we'll pop over to here, come into the controls, wings flap. I'm going to call that the flap. So we'll set that to 100, and then we'll do an ERC freeze on that and accept that, and Control Shift F. And now We got our flappy wings. All right, let's do a up and down. So the bend was the one on that. So if I do, can I just do both of these at the same time? I think I can. No, they go in opposite directions. Damn it. Let's adjust that a little bit so they don't actually run into each other. And I should have paid attention to what I was doing there. 40 minus 40. So that's going to be wings up and down. Let's pop back over to the base. Where did my controls? Oh, it's in the parameters, right? Dial you up to 100. ERC freeze that. Excellent. Now we'll just add the twists. Come on, baby. Let's do the twist. I'll just set those to 90s. I think that one goes to 92, don't you? Yeah, you're also 90. And then back over to the body and parameters and dial you up all the way and ERC freeze that. And now we can just kind of move both of these at the same time. I'm probably will add a curve more to give it a little more curved shape. Anyhow, let's save this out. I'm gonna overwrite the previous version. Actually, let's are you my previous version? You are my previous version, so I'm just gonna copy you. I'm just gonna delete you. I'm just going to rename you that. Then we'll just do a save as over the Stellar Angel Wings. Yes, I do want to and do that. This is probably good. Let's set this to be an accessory. No, I want to say attachment, or I just, I'm just going to say accessory torso. Let's hide this for a second. And let me just make sure I got the right thing in here. Okay, do I have my parameters? Yay! All right, I think I'm good with the wings for now. I'm going to move on to... I'm going to make a stupid halo. It's just going to be simple. And actually, I'm going to complicate it. I'm going to add stars to it. So we're going to make a headband. We're going to have a little stick come up the back, and then we're just going to make a little torus on here. And then on the torus, I'm going to add some little stars, I think. And that probably will take an hour, knowing the way I work. I still have the boots to do. And so we'll do that. We'll come over. I'm going to hit save on this. I think I'm just going to do a new file for this one. Let's import in a Genesis 8 female. Bum, bum, bum. I think I'm going to start with we'll just start with a cylinder. All right, I don't need that and that. Need X-ray because I can't see what I'm doing. Let's grab you. All right, we'll activate the proportional editing. I'm going to go with let's try the sphere shape and see how that works. Now I got to turn that X-ray off because I can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to roughly get these in position, then we're going to rotate it a little bit. Actually, I should rotate it in object mode so I can kind of leave my axis oriented the way, oops. Somebody's fall off is a little high. I'm just going to move the origin. Nope, move the origin to the geometry. Then I can do this. All right, now we'll just tweak this. And I should probably mirror it in symmetry. Let's just try let's just try that and see how well it works today. Oh, and I went to all the trouble. We're going to switch you from global to local. So I'm oriented like that. And my fall off's too large. So tweak that a little bit. That's probably going to be fine. Let's get a torus in here. Maybe not that thin. Maybe not that thick. Probably like that. Oh, let's turn that off. All right, you're a little large looking. Okay, so I do kind of need this back here because we're going to run kind of a maybe a little further back. And maybe we'll actually rotate you just a skosh like that. You know what? I'm just going to orient you. Like so. Now I just need a thin, we'll run another thin torus up here. And then I'm going to make a little star, and I'm going to just add these little star details to this, I think. Also, I think I'm going to give this thickness. It's a control shift, control F, along normal. It's probably too much. 0.002 2 millimeters is still an awful lot, but I think I'll live with that. All right, let's get another cylinder in here. I should probably just put that on the inside of the other one. think I'm going to add a little bit of a bend into that. I need a little bit of X-ray there. Well, I want you to come in there. Probably good. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. All right, let me make a little star detail. Is there a star object in Blender? And actually, let's well, before I think about it, um, Halo head band Halo support Halo. All right, looking good. Okay, Shift A. What do we got? What do we got? Extras. Simple star. Look at that. Are you what I think I need? Not entirely sure why you're rotated like that. That is not entirely what we want. Can I just... -18? Seems close enough. 5 points, yep. Inner. You know what? I think I will make it kind of like that. I need to do a trick in order to rotate this on here, but I have an idea. That's kind of what I wanted. What am I wrote? I'm on a local. That's better. It's probably a clever way to scatter these. I'm not doing that. I think we'll do that. I'm going to bring you into here. What I want to do is put the center of this like here. And then do you on the 3D cursor. Yeah, I think something like that. I'm not done detailing this yet, though. It needs a material. I'm going to do a couple of zones. So I'm going to say star 01. And let's select these faces here. Let's turn the X-ray off so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to inset this a little bit. Maybe we'll put a little bit of a bevel on these as well. So just kind of do that. And then maybe do that. You're still a little thicker than I probably want. That'll probably be better. Okay, I'm going to put another material in here. So I can kind of just easily with the surfaces change the colors and have a two-tone thing going on. And we'll assign that. Put a slight bevel on those. Probably good enough. Do I want to do maybe just a slight bevel on those? There's probably, I probably just ring. Can I ring that? I seldom use a ring select, so I don't even know what the shortcut is for that. Edge rings, that kind of works. Let me see how nasty a bevel does with that. So it's given me some n-gons. I mean, we can slack fix those. Select similar. No, it's select by trait. Faces by side. Greater than 4. And I'll just triangulate those. And then can we just, I don't think this will do anything. Just do the tries the quads on those. This doesn't need to deform, so I just need it to kind of look good. Yeah, it's probably fine. Yeah, I think that'll do. Alrighty, I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to add a face in here for right now to just give me a spot that I can attach the 3D cursor to. Am I in? There we go. So, because I basically want to set the 3D cursor up on the center in here. Right there. And I can use that as a rotation point for this. So I can add that to this, and then I can just rotate around that local axis. So here, let's join these together now. And now we'll tab in here, and then I can control L that and look at this from the side, and I'm still in regular global. So I'm just going to kind of do that. I'm going to do a Shift D, scale that. I think I'm just going to do 2 sizes. Oh, damn it, I moved the cursor. Frick. All right. Set you to cursor, and then if we are Z, no, you're not. Oh, I got to do this to the cursor, right? And local in R Z. Whee! Okay. And then I can just Shift D and R Z and Shift D. Dang it. Probably want another one over in here. So I'm also going to scatter them up and down a little bit too, is the idea. And then maybe fill in some more. And then GZ. And RZ if I want to bring it around a little. So GZ lets me shift it up and down. RZ lets me rotate it around a little bit. This is kind of what I had in mind. That might be okay. Actually, I'm probably going to tighten that up. Oops. That was a GX. Retro. I think I'm fine with that one. That's probably okay. Yeah, I'm going to live with that. All right, I don't need this anymore. So we'll just get rid of this thing. Yay. I should have UV mapped all of that. Oh well. You know what? It's the sort of thing that nobody really needs to. So I'm just going to smart map that, I think. Um, yeah, we'll just do that because I forgot to set my UV mapping on my stars. That would have made sense. Actually, 3AU. And we'll just use a smart UV and unwrap, and it comes out like that. Which actually isn't too far off from, it's not actually that much more annoying to it. So I could chop these up and it could pack tighter. And I can UV map this. I could put seams here, 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 and here. And likewise, I could probably just stick a couple of seams on there. That's probably good enough. Well, actually, let's make it, let's tweak. So I'm going to mark seams there. And then we'll just mark, we'll quarter it up if I can. Okay, we'll do the same thing. We'll just kind of chop that up in the quarters. How far in front of the ear? Right there. You know what I'm going to do here? I want to tweak this just a little bit. Yeah, I'll just pull that out. And let's add a little bit more detail in here. There and there. You know, I'm going to clear that seam because I'm going to put a little bit of a bevel in there. Like so. What are you doing? Oh, GY. That's right. I knew that. Okay, and then I need, you know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to just pull that off. And there's another one up here you can't see because it's hidden, but we'll where's my, we'll go into X-ray, and then I can see, I'm looking for this face right here. There it is. And I'm just going to grab one of these. Actually, yeah, I did get one on the inside. Excellent. Arc a seam there. And I'm going to go ahead and split this too. We'll texture this in Substance, and if I have to, I'll just use triplanar. All right, now let's see how this goes. 3AU. Actually, let's select the parts I UV mapped, and then we'll just use the dum 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 you and you. Right. So we'll just unwrap those like that. Okay, what are you? Is there an extra face back in there? How did I get an extra face in there? Do I have like a whole row of faces back in there? I do. Oh, you know what? I just need to put a seam in here. We'll do that. All right, now let's try. That's better. Okay. I know it's a hot mess right now. Here's where Packmaster comes in. Actually, can I just do the, I'll just select everything. Actually, let's do this, Control L, and I'll just put you out over here. And then we'll use Packmaster to adjust TD to unselected. And then we can just pack it all. And that really didn't, I think it made the stars a little bit bigger. It makes me look like a UV mapping boss though. All right, I'm done with this. Let's get it over into Daz. Did I set up my materials? I did set up my materials. So I should have, yay. And you know what? We're going to rename you Halo Star. Just so my Halo parts say Halo. This will come in handy later on, maybe, if I want to combine material files. It's nice that I don't inadvertently have names in here that are in something else. Layout. All right, let's export you. Oh yeah. Let's try over here. Angel Halo. And I am going to say G8 female because it's actually fitted. Oops, let's make sure I'm using my Daz selector. Export that. All right, let's pop over into here. Let's load that puppy in. That went quick enough. You my import? You are my import. Let's grab you. Accept. I think that's cute. All right, let's just double check our surfaces. Yay! I'm going to just go ahead and put the generic shader on there. I'm going to parent this to her head, and then we'll save it as a figure prop asset. And things we can do is we could actually hide the headband and the support, and this could just be a floating halo. Because the stars have their own material zones, we can just hide them and just maybe use the halo by itself. So it gives us easy flexibility with the different surfaces. Although I've only got 2 star materials, it'll be fine. I could always add more later, but I don't think so. I think that's just overcomplicating it. All right, parrying to the head. There's a head. There's a prop. There's a prop parented to the head. Let's do that. Stellar Angel Halo G8 female. Smart parenting is in effect. Gonna call you Stellar Angel. I got this. You know what? I'm gonna set the content type to be a prop. Actually, let's set the content type to be an accessory to the head. Yep, let's do that. And then I'll accept that. Now we have this. All right, let's take a look at the boots. We got maybe a half hour. I did more or less finish up, I think, what we wanted to do with Marvelous Designer and the boots. So the next step is to finish them up in Blender. So we need to, I think, because they're not dynamic, we're going to add thickness to the laces. And I need to add the rest of the sole and the heel. So I think we're ready with that. Control Shift F on that, puts the breast back to normal. I should save you as a whip file. Save as scene. And I need a new folder in my promos. Okay. Is good. I'm getting thirsty and I realize I haven't barely touched my drink. All right, back to Blender. Where are we? I'm going to save you. Save as Angel Halo. And let's do file new. And let's see if we got the... Do I have a... Let me see if I got a file open. I think... file. I don't want to do... I'll just do open. Let's not save. So let's come up here to here. And I think I have Devil Boots. I think Devil Boots may be a good starting point. Yeah, I think that leg is good. Actually, which one are you? You're a G8F foot. And let's do file. Save as. And we'll come back over here, and this will be Angel Boots. So I don't need you. I can keep you. You know what? Most of this stuff I don't think I need. That I need. That is the... And can I just get rid of this stuff? Will it let me delete that even though it's hidden? It will let me delete it. Yay. What are you? Yeah, I don't need you. I think we can just clean that up. Clean that up. So in here, I just need that one right there. And then I can probably get rid of that. And now let's load in. So did I save the boots as an OBJ? I don't know. I don't think I did. I have not. So we got to pop over to Marvelous Designer and export that out. So you I can save and close. And you I don't need to save. And you I don't need to save. Activate the Marvelous Designer. Oh no! Wait, there it is. Yay. Marvelous Designer can be a little rough on the system. I'm going to cancel you. Let's minimize you. Okay, let's do file. I don't think you're recent anymore, are you? Because I've saved a bunch of morphs since then. All right. There's Angel Boots. I think you are all ready to just export out. I'm gonna tweak these wrinkles a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe I will. It's funny, I get them just right, and then they kind of go back to what they want to do. I think that's good. I think we'll try it. We'll try this. So file, export OBJ selected. Actually, I want to do one more thing. I'm going to add a little bit more over here. We're going to switch that to say 5 millimeters instead of 2.5. And actually, let's freeze everything but the laces. And then I'm going to do that. So they pushed out a little bit farther from everything because I'm going to add a little bit of, that might be too far. I think we'll dial that back a little maybe. I think I'm going to try to add maybe a couple millimeters. Oh, that was, so that might do the trick right there. All right, let's export this and see how this goes. Angel Boots. Actually, it's Angel Boot. We'll do that. And you're a G9 boot. All right, do that. All right, this should be good. I'm going to hit save on you. Close that because you're going to chew up resources in the background. Ideally, that will line up with this. And that's the beginning of the boot. Did I set up materials on this by any chance? No. You know what? I closed it already. I do have to separate out the, actually I can do that. UV editing. Oh no. You did a craptastic job of the UVs. I gotta relaunch. I gotta redo this. It's because I probably didn't select materials or something stupid like that. So by default, it does garbage UVs. It's going, hey, you probably didn't want these UVs. That's okay. We'll jumble them up for you. All right. It should be recent, right? Right there. By the way, did I set you all to... Nope. Here, we'll make sure we do quad optimized on those. Yay. Let's add another material. I'll just set the laces to that. Man, you going slow. Since I'm here, all right, now let's try this again. What are you? Oh, you're this little strip trim. I don't know. I'll just call you boot trim for right now. There we go. We'll do that unified UV quartz. That's what we didn't do. Although my UV coordinates are all garbage. But that's fine. All right, let's try this again. See, now we got our materials. Now I can separate, grab the parts I want. All right, let's get the sole finished. Let's turn that off. Let's do an extrude. Pull you down. Did you become hollow? You did. Let's do a duplicate. Let's pull you down like that. There we go. Let's bridge those loops. What do you do? Oh, you did now. Nah, brah, you did that totally wrong. That's what we want right there. I'm gonna straighten these out a little bit. So I'm gonna pull the heel out of this right here. So for that, we'll just do run some G stretches on there. Yay! Charles made it back. I know, we still have a few more minutes left too, dude. So I'm lessening the effect of the G's to kind of smooth this out a little bit. Let me just say 30 on that. There we go. That's good. And then we're just going to come back this way and G stretch that. Maybe 80. Maybe 50. Maybe 25 is good. Okay, that's my straight line there. So we're just going to select these and pull them down for the heel. Right there. Somewhere in here maybe. Up to here. Down to there. And there we go. Let's do an extrude. That's just going to come down there. Flatten that out. Look at this from the front and line those. Actually, I need a little bit of a heel cap on there, so we're just going to put that right about there. We're going to scale that down. pull that back. Then we're going to do an extrude on that. And then that lines up with that right there. That'll be that little heel tip. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of, here, let's do this one first. And oops. Oh, and I need that too. And then, that's just going to come back kind of like that. And my heel tips too. I should have made that narrower. We can still do that though. Also, I can assign a heel tip material. These are boots, so I should have some of these materials already in here. What are you supposed to be? Oh, you're boot something something. I'll just call you boot front. And you're a boot. And let's make boot front a different color. Do I have the laces in here already? I do not. Lucky you. You get to be laces all by yourself. And it does. I did not see the laces change. Anyhow, let's assign this to a new material, heel tip or something like that. Oh no, it's all. I have my normals facing the wrong way in that. I gotta remember to fix that. You are also heel tip. So here, let's select, let's get everything else back in here. Let's select you. I'm just going to reverse the normals on that. I'll just hide that for a second so that I can do this. Okay, I think I'm just going to put an edge on here, maybe. So we're going to do a solidify, and I'm just going to do the edges. We'll see how that goes. Solidify, and basically I only want to do the rim, and we'll set that to be 0.003. 0.002. I think that'll be fine. It's probably going to get a little goofy in here. Oh, and it did add thickness to the laces, didn't it? It's probably okay. I was going to add thickness to those anyhow. And I do want to put some in here. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe dupe this, do a solidify, and just grab parts of the geometry I don't need because it's going to be a hot mess when I get done with that. So I'm just going to do a Shift D. Let's try that again. Shift D. Hide that. So this one gives me the solidify on the inside, which I don't need most of. I just need some of it from up in here, just for the boot liner. So you know, we'll just apply that. Tab into here. Control L. Did that? Control I. Delete everything like that, and then I can just delete the bottom stuff that I don't really need. I could keep a little bit of this, but I think that's just going to complicate things. Okay, activate the X-ray. X-ray activated. Go into vertex. And let's just kind of maybe come up here. Delete those. We'll clean it up a little bit. Okay, I got these laces and they didn't get assigned to anything. Oh no. Yeah, I'm just gonna back this up. I'm gonna not go quite that high this time, and then I'll clean it up. So that looks kind of neat. I think, yeah, and then I can hide you. Oh, and I want to keep you, but I can now select these without grabbing something else by accident. No, I did grab that by accident. Why? Why do you think you're connected? Control L. Oh well, let's hide this. Damn it. Ah, you are the boot front. Yo, Art, hello and bye. Okay. Thanks for popping in, brother. All right, you get to go away. Alt H. So that's the part I want to keep. I'm going to call this liner, though. Boot liner. Boot liner. Should be good. Let's assign that. Let's give you a color. Let's tab. Let's reinvigorate you. We're going to combine these two together. That and that and that. Actually, let's do it this way. Control J. Control J. And now let's see if I can just merge. Oh, you still have the solidify on you. So let's apply that. Did you come over with it? You did come over with the solidify. All right. All right, I'm gonna go back. I gotta apply the solidifying this, and this honestly, this is not working for me. Yeah, I think you're good. I think you're good. You know what? I'm just going to duplicate this because I'm paranoid. Now it's Control A. Kaiju. I should be able to just join those together. And then we should be able to weld up in here. All right, that's looking good. I got a little bit of a weird peak in the back. I can probably just smooth that out. I think that's kind of what I want to do. I might reshape this toe just a little bit. And my laces, did you actually get a material? For some reason I saved it, but I guess I must have forgotten to assign them. And the heel cap didn't get assigned either. So let's do, and did I lose my boot front? It looks like I lost my boot front. Nope, it's still there. It's just close to boot. Oh, and then liner. Okay. Control O. You're supposed to be the heel cap. Control L. Heel cap. Assign. Let's try that again. Why are you not? How peculiar. It is the heel cap, but I'm just not seeing the color coming through. All right, let me select the. So are the laces actually? Laces are actually lacy. They just don't look like it. I, I'm thinking. I should probably. I'm a little confused by the fact that that's not showing a color, despite the fact I have one assigned. Very interesting. Okay, let's start doing the UV mapping. Oh no, it's almost time to go. Are you all connected? Yes, you are. What if I do that? That's kind of cool looking. I should probably tweak that a little bit. I think we'll put a couple of seams. Let's try seams on these corners here. That's not too bad. All right, let's do the heel cap. That should be an easy one, right? And then let's Alt H. Get everything else back in here. You know what? I want this. So so the sole needs to be chopped up into parts. I'm going to UV map this and then we're going to raid out. So I'm going to go just a little past 4. I'm going to select the sole and then we'll just hide everything else for a minute here. And then that, I'm going to make a sole edge. I'm going to assign that, and then we hide it as we go. And actually, before we do that, let's mark a couple of seams. There. And I'm just going to put one seam right in the back of that. And then we hide that. Let's hide the, like that. And then this is the heel. I am going to, here, let's put a seam right there. And let's put seams right there and there. And let's assign that to heel. And we'll go ahead and throw a UV map on that. And then we'll hide that. And I can just select this. And that probably has UV mapping on it, but we'll go ahead and do that. This should be insole. And assign that. Unwrap that. And I think we're good. So Alt H brings everything back. I'm going to select everything. We're going to come over here and say UVs, seams from islands. Nope, I missed. What did I just do? Seams from islands. There we go. I'm going to just select everything. That one heel there. So we'll go ahead and adjust it to unselected. That was not what it's supposed to do. What the Farfignugan? Control L and G. You don't look like you UV'd nicely. That's a little better. So what if we do this? That's better. I should put a seam down the back of that. I need to UV map the liner. Oh, you came out okay. Oh, you're still attached though. So let's mark a seam on this edge through here. And I gotta tweak that to come around the front a little bit. Seams from islands. Okay. Okay, adjust the TD. Probably good. I probably want to... Did I not mark a seam on the back of you? I did. Okay, excellent. think we're good. And let me see if I got my my packing set up for this. So I need my, it looks like my custom target box is set. So we'll pack that. There we go. My boot is now in half the map. Back over here. We put a mirror modifier on that. And then we're looking for somebody to raid. Oh, where's my mirror? There's my mirror. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. All right, I'm coming back. All right, I think we're good. One thing I want to make sure we do this when we mirror, come over here to data and mirror the U's, the UVs on the U axis so that this gets flipped over for this side. So those are going to be the boots. I might tweak the shape a little bit, but I think I'm in the ballpark there for that. So yeah, thank you all for being here. We will be back tonight, 8 p.m. Hey, make sure you're following CS Bond. Super cool. Leo, it was good to have you here. Thanks for, man, and thanks for your comments. I appreciate that. There is Mr. Bond. CS Bond. If you're on YouTube, I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, you can join the raid. We are going to see who's on. We'll see if any of the art friends is on. And if not, I don't know. Dum, 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 dum. I got 3 viewers on Twitch. You know, if like Taddy's on or something. He hasn't been streaming as much as he used to, though. Lady Destroyer story. Uh, okay, let's come up from here. Maybe I'll just stop the stream. Maybe, Plobby. All right, we'll go say hi to Plobby. Is it just Plobby 3D, right? Where is Plobby? Why am I not seeing Plobby? Damn it. Am I not following Plobby again? I swear to God, last time we raided Plobby, I had to follow him again. Let's do Twitch. Plob. I'm not seeing it. Plobby. I think it's Plobby 3D, isn't it? It is Plobby 3D. Okay, there we go. We're going to go say hi to Plobby. And I'm not following again. What the hell? What the hell? Know I have followed Plobby at least twice before. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. Let's do this. We got the raid calls. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to copy that. If you are a subscriber, you can use the sub raid call. Like I said, we will be back tonight at 8 p.m. for the Saturday Night Social. It's an art share. It's a Discord chat. It's an old cartoon. We're still going through Betty Boops. My YouTube, I've been posting 2 new videos a week recently. Basically, they're the live streams where I went through the entire process of making a product from Daz from the very beginning to the zip file. So if you want to see how anything in that process is done, feel free to catch that. Also, I probably will add a 10th one where I'll just kind of go over some of the points of actually submitting to Daz. I mean, actually uploading the submissions. Getting Daz to like your products. I don't know how to do that. They came to me. Anyhow, let's do this. I got the raid. I got the sub raid. I got the slash raid. Plobby 3D. All right, I think we're good. So thank you all for being here. If I don't see you tonight, I hope you have a good rest of a Saturday or a Sunday. And hasta la vista, baby.